Nobody ever stumbled upon success by accident, except maybe the guy who found gold in California. But don't ever think that you can be that guy. I mean, you never want to fail because you didn't work hard enough. I always believed no stone unturned. Work your butt off. That's what I always believed. No matter what you do, work, work, work. I remember Muhammad Ali, one of my great heroes, had a great line in the 70s when he was asked, how many sit-ups do you do? He said, I don't know, because I start counting only when it starts burning. When it starts burning, that's when it starts counting. You see, that's what makes you a champion. It doesn't matter in what area you're in. No pain, no gain. So you have to be very determined, but the most important thing is you have to have your goal always in front of you so you know what you're fighting for. Then it is fun. I always had fun doing all of those things because I knew why I was doing it, and I was absolutely convinced that I will get there, no matter what anyone said, because my whole life everyone always said, it can't be done, you will never do it, you will fail, no one has ever done it, to go from Austria and be a Mr. Universe and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Or if you run for governor, you're gonna lose, you know, that people don't take people from show business seriously in politics and all this stuff. So I mean, I've heard all the it's impossible thing, and I didn't pay any attention because I believed. I didn't think about just, you know, being Mr. Austria or Mr. Europe or Mr. Universe. I wanted to be the greatest bodybuilder of all times. And when I thought about show business, I didn't want to just be an actor, I wanted to be a leading man. Yeah. And when I thought about politics, I didn't want to just be a city council member or a mayor, I want to be governor, which is the biggest job that I can ever achieve in America, because I can run for president since I wasn't born in America. So I always shoot for the top. Yeah. And I think it's always fun to shoot for the stars, and then you will figure out, can you get there, or are you going to fail? Yeah. But if you're not afraid of failure, then that's perfectly fine, you know. So I always was willing to go all out. Well, I think that the number one thing is you have to have a very clear vision, a very clear goal of where you want to go, because only then you will get there. You can have the best airplane or the best ship in the world, but if the captain doesn't know where to go, he will just drift around. If the pilot does not know where to go, he will just drift around with his plane. So I think the key thing is that we know where we're going, and that you're very passionate about that, that you see it always in front of you, the goal. And the other thing that's important is that you got to shoot for the top. You got to go and really have big goals and think big, because then you're going to get big. Then you're going to go and achieve big things. That is the most important thing. You know, we don't achieve big things by accident. The majority of people don't like what they're doing, because they're really not doing it because they didn't have a goal and they followed this goal. They just aimlessly drift around, and then all of a sudden there's a job opening, so they get that job because you have to work. But then when you work, it's a chore. It's work. It's not fun. So if you think about, only a quarter of the people really enjoy what they're doing in life. That is unbelievable if you think about it. So I felt so blessed that I knew what I was doing. It's like a medical student that studies and knows he wants to become a doctor. You know where to go. So I knew where to go. I think it is natural that when you have a big vision and big dreams and you have big goals, that people are going to say around you, I don't think it can be done. I think it's impossible, or no. I tell you, I heard this all the time, but I want to tell you, don't ever let them stop you from dreaming and from shooting for the big goal. Because eliminate just simply those words, no, impossible, and it can't be done. I mean, in each one of my careers, when someone said it's impossible, I heard it's possible. When someone said it can't be done, I heard it can be done. And when someone said no, then I heard loud and clear, yes. So this is what I believed in. I am a big believer of what Nelson Mandela said. He said it always seems to be impossible until someone does it. Don't be afraid to fail. Because if you're afraid to fail, then you're always holding yourself back because you're afraid that if you go all out, you may fail. Well, in weightlifting, we learned that very quickly. The only way you could break a record is if you're willing to fail. That's when you put on more weight, you try it, sometimes you maybe you will not be able to lift it, which has happened to me many times, but eventually, when you train hard enough, you will lift it. So don't be afraid to fail. I mean, how far can you fall?